Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat. Let's begin our meeting. If your cell phones are active, please silence them. Good evening and welcome to our regularly scheduled City Commission meeting for April 15th, 2026. At this time, I would ask Ms. LaMagna for a roll call.
Commissioner Reed.
Here.
Commissioner Paris.
Here.
Commissioner Strickland.
Here.
Commissioner May.
Here.
Commissioner Cantu.
Here.
Commissioner Henry.
Here.
Mayor Derek L. Henry.
Here.
We'll now move on to item number 4, which is approval of the minutes of the March 18th, 2026 City Commission meeting.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. We'll now have our agenda approval. If there are any changes, our city manager will address them.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, we're adding to item 8T, Zone Support Funds to the consent agenda, $1,292 from Commissioner Juanita May to a Senior Oasis program, $3,500 to Commissioner Danette Henry to Road and Praise for their community gym and programming. Add addendum 8U to the consent agenda, license agreement between the City of Daytona Beach and B. Anderson as trustee of the Netquist Trust for the Seafood Festival. We're also removing 8N from the consent agenda for a separate vote because we had 3 individuals who voted no on the purchase, so we're making that a separate vote, so it will not be a part of the consent.
I'd like to match the $2,000 I believe that the mayor gave for the aviation camp.
Okay.
I believe that's what he gave. Yes, to Black Pilots of America for their youth aviation STEM camp.
May I also for $2,500?
$2,500.
Thank you.
And I'll do 1,500.
You said 15? All right, those will be added to the agenda.
All right.
I'd like to approve the agenda with the said changes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The motion carries 7-0.
I do have a question. Commissioner May, is there a particular Oasis program you're donating this to? It just says Oasis. Okay.
Okay.
I heard.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to move on to item number 6, which is our presentations. Tonight it's Lori Campbell Baker and Kay Galloway, Daytona Beach Area Convention and Visitor Center Bureau, Branding Strategies and Structure for Daytona Beach.
I'm Lori Campbell Baker, Executive Director for the Daytona Beach Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is the marketing arm for the Daytona Beach area. And I'm joined here today by board member Johnny Miguel, staff members Brian Bentley, Connor Rand, and Kay Galloway. So I'm going to kick it off, learning to use the clicker. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to do just a brief update on kind of who we are, because I think sometimes there's a little confusion. We market under Daytona Beach area, but we are a wider geography than that. So we actually have the board which is called the Halifax Area Advertising Authority. That's 11 members. They, like Johnny, are appointed by Volusia County Council. We do business as the Daytona Beach Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. We are a small staff. We have 19 employees in group sales, marketing and design, communications, finance and accounting, and we also have 2 visitor information centers, one at Daytona International Speedway, one at Destination Daytona. Both are gifted to us as a free lease. Our mission is really economic impact. So economic and community vitality through destination promotion. Our dollars can only be used outside this area to promote people coming into this area. So we talk about Convention and Visitors Bureau, CVBs. Volusia County is very unusual. We have 3. So we are the Halifax area. We are the largest, not in geography, but in terms of how many properties that we have. So we go all the way from Ormond by the Sea down to Ponce Inlet, and basically from the ocean to just past the interstate. There's also a West Volusia run by Georgia Turner, and a Southeast Volusia Advertising Authority, which is run by Debbie Meals. So we have, within just our area, about 200 properties and about 12,000 rooms, which is why we tend to collect the most amount of bed tax. Bed tax is a percentage when you stay overnight at a hosted vacation rental, like Krista Goodrich's, or at a hotel, a resort, a condo, even a rustic campground, you are paying that 3% tax. And this is how it shakes out. There are two different bed taxes within Volusia County, and it's a little confusing. The first is the tourist development tax that is levied countywide at 3% on those overnight stays. That goes directly to the Ocean Center. So that's paying down the bonds on the convention center, so you and I as residents do not need to. The second is the convention development tax, and it is much more strictly designed as a marketing tool. So that's the one where we have 3 different bureaus. They're each levied at 3%. They're levied individually. So it's not an overall countywide tax. It's levied in different areas. So once a month, we get the tax revenues from 2 months prior. It takes about 2 months. The county collects and remits those funds to us. Our budget is about $15 million. To get to that number, we had to pull money out of fund balance, and that's what gets us there. So we figure this year we should make about $12.5 million in additional bed taxes. And we're all about the impact of tourism. So we create a lot of jobs. This is a county-wide graphic. So about 40,000 jobs within Volusia County, and with that, a payroll of over $1 billion. But for us, the biggest number is how much they spend, $3.3 billion in our local businesses, and we love them for that. I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Marketing Officer, Kay Galloway, to talk to you about what came up at a previous meeting, which is how are we presenting the Daytona Beach area?
Hi, Kay Galloway. So let's talk about the fun stuff, which is about how we market the destination. So when we talk about marketing, we talk about who we're marketing to, what the markets are, and how we present ourselves. So in our leisure marketing, we are targeting adults 25 to 54. The core is household income of $100,000, but it's important to notice the plus sign. We go above that because we do have some properties in the area that are reaching for a higher household income that'll spend more in the destination. We reach out, we're promoting for families to come, couples, singles, empty nesters, seniors, but also it's important for us to paint a city of diversity. So we also try to include that not only in the type of media, but then also reflective of how we present the destination. Looking at the U.S. markets, you'll see a list of them. They are not in our priority, but I will tell you that almost half of our visitor comes from the state of Florida. So Florida is very important to us. But from there, it's in the southeast, it moves to the northeast, of course, across America. And then we dip into our international markets. Canada is our #1 market, for sure. However, we're in a bit of a challenging time right now, so we have other markets we lean on. The United Kingdom is second, and Brazil is #3. Brazil is an interesting market. We're seeing it as an emerging market. Many of those have been traveling to Miami and Orlando, and we now have the opportunity to capture them out of Orlando and bring them here because they have some fatigue there. So that's a market of opportunity. But how we also gauge of how we present ourselves is some interest in behavioral. It is about the beach. It is the beach getaway. It is also in the same set of a Florida vacation. We present the destination as family friendly, and then we can get into interest. I list one here, golf and pickleball. It could be outdoor adventure. It could be arts and culture. It could be murals. All those interests we take into account when we market the destination. Now, how do we utilize media. So we spend about $8 million in our media tactics. These are all of them listing. You might be familiar with paid social or display. Native content is actually slipping our ad in between editorial that you're reading. It looks like editorial, but it's not. It's advertising. Connected TV or streaming TV, we're all familiar with those. Online travel agencies are very important to us. People book travel through Expedia, Booking.com, all of those. Most of them are married to that. That's how they only book, so we work in that arena. We still do print. Print's not dead yet. And we use radio, outdoor billboard. Retargeting is one that's really important to us. If somebody comes to our website and stays for a bit of time, we can then, cookie's not dead yet, follow them and deliver our ad on another web browser. So we follow them a bit. There's cool technology to help us do that. And then last, we also do something called conquesting. Best way to describe it, you're on Expedia and you're looking at Cocoa Beach. Well, that's pretty close to us, so we know you want beach vacation. We deliver an ad while they're looking at Cocoa Beach to try to conquest them to come to us. I will tell you our competitors are doing the exact same thing. So we have to be in that business, right? But some cool things that we're doing beyond is things called experiential marketing. You may be familiar that a few years ago we did an anamorphic billboard in Times Square, which was amazing and got a lot of attention. This one is a piece called Message in a Bottle, which I think we all can relate to when it comes to the beach. I was very excited to go with the team. We just went to the Atlanta Dogwood Festival, and we brought this piece. It is an inflatable. It's amazing what you can do with this. It is a 20-foot inflatable. If you look at the person standing beside it, that's to scale, right? And at the Dogwood Festival, one, Atlanta is important to us. Two, people are spending money, spending on artwork, things of that nature. So it's a great audience to talk about Daytona Beach. So we were there reminding them, this is brand awareness, reminding them that Daytona Beach is perfect for them to come to. Some things we can reinforce: 6.5-hour drive. If not, you want to fly, we have a direct flight. And then we begin to have that conversation to tell them why they should come to the Daytona Beach area. So this piece is wonderful. I wish we had time to switch it out for the real deal, because we were kind of the star of the show at that event. And so it was exciting to take this on the road. Now, I will tell you, from here, it goes to Nashville. It will go into Opry Mills for a whole month. We'll have street teams there. We have a smaller version that JetBlue is taking with them to Boston and to New York to do activations at sporting events. A great way to sell that direct flight to bring them to Daytona Beach. So now let's show some of our commercial spots. This is the fun part. And cross our fingers it works.
She won't remember her first word. She won't remember her first steps. But she'll never ever forget her first wave. Plan your trip at DaytonaBeach.com.
That's our Publix commercial, right? Okay. So let's show a couple more.
Visit a place that's famous for racing, for riding, for food, for fun, for catching waves, and for releasing stress. Visit a place that's famous for just about everything, and just as famous for doing absolutely nothing at all. Plan your trip at DaytonaBeach.com.
Now, we've showed a lot of beach, but let's showcase one of our attractions.
Go to camp for vacation and you'll meet people from other states. Come here and you'll make friends with other species. Plan your trip at DaytonaBeach.com.
So I will tell you, these are just 3 spots. But, so this is just a flavor. If you want to see really a lot what we're doing, check us out on YouTube, follow all of our socials. We'll give you the best idea to show how we present the destination. A couple of other points, as mentioning social, we manage 18 social media channels. I will tell you, we have one fabulous lady, Tangela, that does that for us. But with all social media, it's important that you are constantly creating content. Our goal on the majors is to present up to 3 pieces of content a day. Okay, imagine that. But it doesn't mean we always create the content. We do it ourselves. We reshare from our partners. We've reshared from the city as well when you do great content as well. And then we find visitors in market, they're having a wonderful time, and that's the best ones to reshare because they can relate to that. But we also do work with influencers and content creators to create additional content. So social is as important as it can be right now. Everything that we do from advertising pays off to DaytonaBeach.com. It is a massive website. It is an amazing website, not only for our visitors, but for the locals. We have one of the most extensive calendar of events, and we encourage any business to submit an event to be included on that calendar. But we are receiving about 800,000 users a month. That's the leverage and power of that website. So we are in it daily. We change that content daily. We also have a wonderful e-newsletter that we send out, a database of about 250,000, and we can be very specific. We take that database and then house it into certain interests. So if it's arts and culture, you're going to get an arts and culture e-newsletter. If it's about racing, you're going to get racing, or if they want hotel deals, they'll get it as well. The more you can deliver the right content to the right person, the open rate and the click-throughs back to the website happen. And of course, lastly is our destination guide. I do believe you have a copy of it in front of you. It's our #1 piece. We still print some, but most people download it for free from our website. And then of course, we have additional brochures that we distribute as well. And I think I'm passing it back to Lori.
One of the things that people ask all the time is how do we get involved? And Kay mentioned social media, definitely follow us on that. Sign up for the e-newsletters, and I'm saying this to your audience as well. We do community listening sessions where we get out there in the community and we say to them, what are you thinking about the area, about tourism, about what you're seeing? And we take lots and lots of notes. We do a speakers bureau, so it's very similar to this for clubs and organizations within the area. We always think the more that people know about the tourism marketing program, the more they'll want to get involved and they'll feel good about the way it's being portrayed. Our ambassador program met today at the Daytona Playhouse. And if you haven't done the complete tour of the Playhouse with Kathy, it is amazing. So we have a group of volunteer ambassadors, and they are there for us for things like Biketoberfest or NCA, the cheerleading competitions. They come out, they're very enthusiastic. They love this Daytona Beach area. They want to share that enthusiasm, and we try to keep them engaged and busy. And then, of course, the Tourism Today newsletter, definitely sign up for that one. That gives a quick snapshot about what we're doing. So we have, Kay showed the rendering of the inflatable at the Dogwood Festival. I actually got a copy of that picture from a colleague whose daughter happened to be there and said, oh my gosh, Lori, this is amazing. And I will tell you that in real life, it looks even better than the rendering. That never happens. It's so good. And so these are the types of things that you'll see in Tourism Today in the newsletter. So just different ways that you can be in the know and always connected with us. We are here for input all the time, and we really appreciate you inviting us today to speak, because we can talk for hours, but we won't.
Any questions?
Can you just share with them also how you're helping Centennial, our 150th birthday.
Yeah, so I want to thank Monica for sharing information about the 150th. It's on our website. It's on the front page of the website. It's been in our e-newsletters. It's been on social channels. And as Kay said, when the city promotes and puts out social messages, we can pick up on those as well. But we saw that we got your dates in July. You have events in July, which is very exciting. So the more we know, and I'm going to say this about your 150th, but everything, the more we know about community events that visitors also could go to, the more, it's a free listing on the site. It's always free. If it's tourism related, it can't be the bake sale for the local school, but if it's something that visitors could come to, would enjoy, please load it onto our site. So we are all in, because the more robust that site, the more we can keep people in town longer and spending dollars in your local businesses.
Is there somebody to help with the site? I have the Veterans Museum in Zone 3, and I just met with them, and they actually wanted to meet you to see how they could get involved with you for free.
So funny, because Connor had been reaching out to them. They are on a site,
Okay,
but
good.
we think that the photos could be updated.
Okay.
So Connor Rand is our partner liaison. He's the connector of the businesses and the CVB. So I believe that conversation is now ongoing, but that's great. We always want the listings on this site to be as strong as they can be, because if you can hold them on your part of the site, and the Veterans Museum is fabulous, then that's what's going to get attention. That's going to help drive visitation. We're all in.
We'll have to definitely add the Crab and Seafood Festival next year. We're in our 6th year this year, and they come from all over. Jeep Beach comes and joins us. and
Absolutely.
Our locals. It's on there?
Yeah, we sometimes put it on anyway. If someone doesn't, we know how important it is.
Okay.
We'd rather have the entities do it themselves, but for something that's so important to us, we'll scrape other people's sites.
I'm
Don't
loving
tell
that you
anyone.
have this mural in the book.
Isn't that the best?
Yes.
Isn't that the best?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. We have trails. We have statue trails and ale trails, and we have a mural trail. There's so many different trails that we map out so that visitors can come and enjoy. And the mural trail is just a perfect excuse to get all over this area and take a ton of selfies. So they love it. They absolutely love it. Yeah. Thank you. And yours too. Yes, they love it, right?
They're not there for business, they just come in to tell us.
She can't do that. Who's gonna tell her she can't do that? Okay, I was in complete agreement. I was thinking the same thing as it related to the Veterans Museum, because it really is an attractive destination. And when it was on Beach Street, it was one of our most prominent destinations. So I don't know how it's doing because I haven't visited with them, but I would like to make certain that it's ascending even to higher heights.
We took our staff over there when they first opened it, the new location, and got an amazing tour.
Yeah.
And so we have been trying to reach out, and I think maybe we found the right connector there, because it needs to be a strong showing. We have a lot of veterans groups that
Yes.
book business here. Those are the things we drive them to when we do Veterans Day promotions, or any patriotic promotion. We move them to the veterans plazas and museums. It's important.
No.
We agree.
And you can, every month, they have a meeting over there where they have a guest speaker. It's usually on a Tuesday. Maybe we can get that out.
If you can set that up, Stacy, that would be.
Okay.
So Stacy set us up with the Margaritaville folks too. So she's a great ambassador for tourism.
I'm a member of that veteran museum. So are you talking to Jose? I don't remember. Okay, because Jose is our commander over there.
What's his last name?
Rosa, Jose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because that's the main person.
Thank you.
Thank. Are you coming to the Tuesday in May? Okay. Commissioner May, you should go to there too.
I actually just had the meeting with them about a week ago, and that's when we were talking about the CVB. And they've got really good resources there, so I've been helping them a little bit with marketing in different communities to get the word out about them.
And I believe Senator Wright is their guest speaker next month as well. And he has a big surprise for him, so you guys should attend. I can't say what it is.
That's good. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
No further questions? Thank you. And another excellent presentation. And for all the things that, you know, we've been challenged by of late, your presentation is an expression of just how much this community is getting right. And we appreciate you doing all the things that you all are doing.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
That is very flattering. We appreciate it.
Okay.
If you can't tell, we're super excited about what we do, so.
Always. I know you are.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 7. This is citizen comments. During this time, citizens have the opportunity to address the city commission on any item that is on the consent agenda. My first speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is Doyle Lewis.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. Just the item R. You pulled my other one off the agenda. So about 26 years ago, Scarlett Golden came before the commission. She was on the Zone 5 seat. And down from her house on Fredericks was a city-owned property that wasn't cared for. All right? And George Burton at the time said, well, what other properties do we own? So they did the whole thing about what we own, what we didn't own, what we take care of, what we don't take care of. And this item is for the care of all of those small properties that we have on Beach Street, all the properties that we're now redoing. It came out of about 3 hours ago. Save a Lot, and I go right to the corner, and directly right there is the city property. That's sort of kind of okay, but that's the one that Scarlett Golden was upset about because it wasn't cared for. Well, we have properties all over the city, especially on the beach side. The properties that go into the river, they're a mess. We cleaned up one, I think you remember 2 years ago. Bob came in and we had given the land away and he wanted the land back and we put a little park there. Well, we have several of those, but we're not using them. These areas, especially the one by Save a Lot, it could be a small dog park. It could be a small whatever, but it's a size of I guess, 150 by 150. It's a large lot. It has a tiny little building for the water department, but it's a lift station. Why don't we use all of our lift stations? Because I came to you a couple of weeks ago about the lift station on Seagrave, all right? It was in terrible, terrible shape. We have several that are in terrible shape. Those are our properties all over the neighborhoods. We should take the time and fix all of them up, paint them, repair them, because they are the worst. The city property is the worst property in many of our neighborhoods. So this item is going to take care of the outside, the landscaping. We need to take care of the buildings themselves and what's inside. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Doyle Lewis.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Doyle Lewis. Very interesting. I definitely am talking on 8C and 8F, which both are basically the same, because when you got LPMs and abuse and the expansion of what happened, it affects your affordable housing. If you don't think it does, it does. The The reason why I speak slowly is so you can't get confused. Confusion is not my business. It's one of the reasons why I write most of the things down and I plan it out and I draw it out. It takes a couple years to build a big old building. You can't confuse me. Affordable housing in Daytona Beach and Volusia County needs to happen more and more because of our elders more than anything else. They love their grandkids. If you're not going to do that, tell me now. I'll make you change. The opiate situation has killed most of my friends. Most of the people my age are not living anymore. So how can you hurt me some more? Rubbing your face is not going to help it. I've been looking at the numbers for years. I got you nervous in your chairs because you know I'm looking at you. Born around a German military war camp on United States soil. 50% of them went back to Germany, 50% worked the farms with us. I'm a race car driver. My dad was too. You want to put those glasses back on? You are not going to get rid of me. I'm going to stay right here and do the BS. Beach and sand. United States, Doyle Lewis.
That was our final speaker for the remaining items on the consent agenda.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments?
I do, Mayor. I believe it's 8F on the opioid funds that we're accepting. I believe it's around $300,000. I just want to know if we could get an idea of how that money is going to be spent and if it's possible to put it towards mental health. About what?
It has a designation.
Yeah, we
Go
will.
ahead.
We will provide the designations of what the opioids could be spent, and if there's a change that needs to place, you all can direct us to change from what is required.
Do you think we could have that by the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Monica, Commissioner, I've been talking to you also about freedom. Was it Freedom First? Okay, so I've been having conversations as well, so I guess he does need to bring it back. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
We're going to move on to 8N that was pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and a separate vote. So this is the redevelopment neighborhood services approved acquisition of property at 130 North Helm Place. This is a resolution approving a sale and purchase agreement with Robert M. Gill and Jules O. Gill, providing for the city's purchase of property located at 130 North Helm Place at a purchase price of $425,000 plus up to $16,656.56 in estimated closing costs and due diligence costs, authorizing city manager to execute the agreement, warranty deed, and any other related documents to facilitate the sale and take such action as may be necessary or prudent in the implementation and providing an effective date.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And I do have a speaker, Mr. John Nicholson, and then I do have the attorney here for the project for any additional questions.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. When I looked at the backup material, I believe this lot on the beach side is in the CRA area. It was purchased by CRA funds. It belongs to the CRA. If I'm not mistaken, in the CRA codes, you cannot spend money from one CRA in another CRA or put it into the general fund. So I'm asking Ben if this is indeed property of the beachside CRA, are we allowed to give it away to another CRA or put it in anywhere else? I believe it must be kept in that zone. If so, then it would affect this sale. Thank you.
Ben, you want to address that?
The clause that Mr. Nicholson is referring to is a component of the contract that requires, in addition to paying a purchase price, that we would convey without cost the separate property on Grandview. I don't actually know if that property on Grandview is within another redevelopment area. Mr. Nicholson's correct. We couldn't spend money from the Midtown area in Grandview, but giving away that property is not an expenditure. It's a decision not to try to gain revenue from it, but that's not expressly prohibited by the statute. There is one other clause in the contract that could be related to what Mr. Nicholson's referring to, and that is a clause that says that with regard to that new property, if the owners or the sellers of the Midtown property and the people who take possession of that property on Grandview build 2 units or less on that Grandview property within a year, then they would be entitled to impact fee waivers to be paid for by Midtown funds. But that's not money spent within one redevelopment area. It is consideration for the acquisition of this property. It's part of the price to acquire this property. So when and if that happens, and that needs to come forward for approval, my advice would be that since it was an essential part of the consideration for the city to acquire the Midtown property, it's property being spent in Midtown.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, if I may add, Ken Thomas, Redevelopment Director. The requirements of the Florida statute pertaining to redevelopment is that you have to put out a 30-day notice when you're donating property that's within the redevelopment area. And we did that. We did a 30-day notice in the general circulation of the newspaper. The property isn't going to Midtown. The property is going to stay where the property is. Actually, this is going to be a benefit to the beach side because the new owner is going to build a triplex that probably in the neighborhood of over $500,000. And so we've had this property in our possession for quite some time, just cutting the grass. And now you're going to have a new development on that property. So it's going to bring about new development and new tax dollars for our redevelopment area. So it's going to be a benefit to our redevelopment beachside area. Okay. Not a benefit to Midtown.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign.
No.
No.
Motion carries 4-3.
Okay, we don't have any public hearings or introduction of ordinances this evening, so we're going to move on to item number 11, which is administrative items. Item 11A is a Public Works Department amendment to the Memorandum of Agreement from a Mosaic Residential Community, Sidewalk Infrastructure Drainage and Awarding Contract to Hazen Construction. This is a resolution relating to the Mosaic Residential Community, accepting the bid of Hazen Construction, Inc. for the Mosaic Sidewalk Modifications Phase 1A, 1B, 1B1, for the contract price of $1,194,636, authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute the construction services contract with Hazen Construction, rejecting certain bids that were non-conforming, authorizing the return of the bid security of all unsuccessful bidders, approving the First Amendment to the Memorandum of Agreement with B2 Volusia Holdings LLC relating to the Mosaic Sidewalk modifications, and providing an effective date.
So move.
Second.
We have
Thank you very much for your time. First of all, I want to thank you that we finally have gotten to this point where we have a developer or a contractor to do our sidewalks. A lot of our residents were very skeptical that we were going to get here, but I'd like to thank you for getting us there. I had some concerns about the bids and the choice of the contractor. I know Hazen Construction is primarily licensed in water management systems, and coincidentally, I saw on the agenda that they have another contract within the city. They underbid by $1 million, but we go by the lowest bid for this, but yet we don't set out for a bid for backstop for $98,000. There's no consistency to the bidding process. Do you remember what we were talking about with the backstop? And Commissioner Cantu questioned why it wasn't brought up for a bid. I have spidey senses, and they came up that the reason why Hazen was chosen was because they bid $309,000 for pavers. The second company bidded $700 and some thousand, and then the third company was $1,200,000. That's a big variance in bids. Well, coincidentally, ICI only has to pay for that $300,000. That's their portion of all the sidewalks. Makes me a little suspect. I'm sorry.
Well, Brenda, there was 10 bids, and actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually very pleased this has went through the correct process now. And there was another bid for those pavers for $468. So actually, there was a lower bid for that one, but Hazen was selected because Hazen is the lowest bid, and that's how the process is supposed to work. And I've been behind Mosaic Community this whole time, and I will stay behind you, behind the community, and make sure it's done properly. And if you have any questions why the process is going on, everyone knows my phone number and email. And I am very happy how this has went. And actually, Hazen is a local company, and they've been here for a long time, and they do sidewalks as well.
Thank you. I disagree, but that's just my opinion. That's the research that I've done, and they have a low rating as far as reviews. I would hope that you guys are going to make sure that licensing and permitting are actually there inspecting the sidewalks and overseeing them this time, because it breaks my heart that this money is going to our community for sidewalks when it could be used at other areas in the city that needed it much more. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you all very much.
May I ask a question about that process? Are they allowed to then submit change orders? So sometimes contractors will put in a lower bid, but then as they rack up change orders, the price goes up sort of secondarily. Are we allowing change orders to occur? Is there a maximum for that?
No, there isn't. Any form construction contract provides for a change order process. Our form construction contract, first of all, limits the ability of a contractor to request change orders based on conditions that the contractor should have been aware of prior to construction. That same limitation would apply to anybody who was awarded the bid. The other thing I would tell you is we have very strict deadlines for a contractor who becomes aware of a need to request a change order, to request that. Very strict requirements on the documentation that the contractor needs to provide. And then, of course, whether we grant the change order is within our discretion. If, for example, they're asking for additional money based on data that they should have been aware of in the first instance. But it isn't uncommon for contractors to ask for change orders. All of the contractors bidding on this contract would have been subject to the same rules regarding that.
Do we know, are we going to be told about a start date and a completion time? Because I know that none of the other dates on the MOA have been followed. So the residents are asking me, do we know when the start date's going to be? I'm fine, Stacy. Go ahead. Thank you very much for your time.
Mr. Waller is here to provide some context.
Good evening, David Waller, Public Works Director. I touched briefly on the change order portion, at least how this contract was bid. It's all unit price, so they'll get paid by the square foot for each item that they do, and our city inspector will determine which portions of the sidewalk come out and what portions stay, and we'll pay them for what work gets done. The only way this contract would run over is if we decide in the field that there is a need for additional work to meet the goals of our project, then we would direct them to do so, and that would be done by a change order. As far as a schedule, if the commission approves this item tonight, then we will execute those documents with our contractor. That typically takes a couple weeks after the actual activities tonight. And the contractor, generally speaking, has 30 days before they are obligated to issue a notice to proceed to start the contractual clock. The contractor is eager to start, so I don't foresee any reason that they won't start in a timely manner, and we expect the work to primarily be done over this summer.
Thank you, David.
All right, there's no further questions. We will have a vote. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
And just for the record, I want to say that our Public Works Department, with a lot of our men from the city and ICI, I mean, there was loads of them. I went to the meeting. Almost all the residents there were happy. They got their questions answered and everything. I think there was only one person that was there that kind of complained about it because he wanted a meeting where they didn't have it divided by different, streets, and he wanted a meeting where everyone could hear what he had to say. But it was actually a very good meeting, so I'm very happy with the process. And I know, I've been the biggest vouching for this community, and I still will be behind you guys watching it, but they did everything correct this time. So.
Okay, good job. All right.
Okay. I'm going to move on to item 11B. It's Utilities Department, PC Construction Company, Emergency Distribution Pipe Repair. This is a resolution ratifying the city manager's expenditure of $1,310,885 to pay PC Construction Company for repairs to the city's largest water distribution main and providing an effective date.
So move.
We have a motion and a second.
And I don't have any speakers signed up for this item, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have any questions from the commission? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Okay. I'm going to move on to item 11C. It's the discussion of the city manager employment contract renewal.
All right.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask for that to be tabled until we do an evaluation. I know I turned mine in on Monday, but how can you renew a contract without an evaluation? And I believe at the last commission meeting, Commissioner May brought it up, and Mayor Henry, you brought it up and put Commissioner Reed in charge of that. And I know Sexton sent out an email stating, get your reviews in, and we would put it on the first commission meeting in May. And we still have time because we still have 6 weeks before the contract ends. But it doesn't make sense to renew a contract without an evaluation. I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, we've had a couple of years that we haven't done any evaluations,
Correct.
so we're not in accordance with the policy either.
Correct.
And I think we can say what we think he's done. I think he's given us an excellent report on his accomplishments, and from that we can render a decision.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about this item?
I wouldn't mind tabling the item either, Mayor.
Okay.
I'm prepared to vote.
I am too.
I'm prepared to wait.
Well, that makes me the person that'll break their tie, I guess, huh? Well, I agree that we should have an evaluation in place. But, so we'll wait. That doesn't mean that I don't want anyone to think that, you know, I'm having cold feet about my commitment to where we're going as a community in this area. So, but I do believe that it is prudent, and I have been working on my evaluation quite a bit, because it's going to be pretty detailed, and, you know, manager and I will meet and discuss, you know, what my thoughts are and things that we can improve on. But I will say this, because I sense a lot of tension. From my perspective, you know, the city is a complex place with complex issues. But everything that we've seen tonight really continues to illustrate just how far we've come, you know, and just, you know, how much we've improved. While that does not highlight the fact that we have had some issues, but we've always had issues. We've always had challenges, and I'm confident that we will continue to meet the challenges. So, you know, 3 of us want to wait, so that makes 4 of us. Let's wait and let's give a firm and fair and comprehensive evaluation so that the manager knows where we stand, and then so that he will also be able to have an opportunity to address those concerns moving forward. You know, and that's the fair thing to do, and it is also, I believe, the cohesive, prudent thing to do, in the sense that we don't need to be rudderless in this moment. And we have had good direction with pitfalls, and some of those I still feel have been self-inflicted. But I also believe that the manager has some things that he wants to address, and we will, you know, I believe, allow him to do that. So, do we need a vote on that, or we just table it?
Yeah, Mayor, you should entertain a motion to table.
Entertain a motion to table.
I will make a motion to have it come back to us at the next commission meeting. What is that, May 6th?
I second that.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second. With that being said, we'll take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Reed?
No.
Commissioner Paris?
Yes.
Commissioner Strickland? No. Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Cantu?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? No. Mayor Derek L. Henry?
Yes.
It's 4-3 to table the item.
All right, we'll table the item.
Okay. That was our final agenda item.
Okay, at this time we will move forward and hear from the residents regarding issues. I mean, not the residents, I mean commission comments. Who's first?
Commissioner Reed.
Commissioner Reed. Yes, ma'am.
So just as a point of reference, everyone needs to have their evaluation complete so that we can move forward with this process at the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward from that, I just want to say that the grand opening of the Jackie Robinson Ballpark, was extremely, it was beautiful. That was a wise investment on our part. A true effort led by our city manager to help us to save one of our own capital improvements projects that have been neglected for some time.
Can we hold the chatter? Let's stay on topic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So definitely go to a game or two, and support what we've invested in our Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Then I want to say this inaugural weekend, where the great Bethune-Cookman University had the opportunity to invest in their 8th president, was something indeed. There was a concert that was free to the community on Sunday afternoon, where the concert chorale and the symphonic band showed us what they're capable of doing, which is always showing up and showing out. And then on Monday evening, there was a gala, and there had to have been, what, Commissioner May, about 900 people, Commissioner Strickland? I mean, I was at table 12, and my family was at at table 81, and there were 10 people per table. So that's 810 people right there. So the Hilton, I've never seen the Hilton filled to capacity. And so people came from all across the water. There were two from Africa, from Liberia and Zimbabwe presidents, someone he'd gone to school with at Duke, someone he'd gone to school with at where was his other one? It was another
Yale.
Yale, two Ivory schools. It was really a beautiful sight. And then on yesterday, he actually was sworn in. He got his regalia, and he is now, well, he's been the president, but he is officially addressed by the board as the president of Bethune-Cookman University. So I enjoyed being a part of that history on yesterday, and that concludes my comments in regards to this evening.
Thank you. Madam Paris?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to bring something up about the audits that were done. According to our city auditor governing policy that we approved, whoever's being audited needs to give a response to the audit, and I don't think that was done. So it kind of helps with the audit findings if the person that was audited or department that was audited, if they agree with it or don't agree with it, and any kind of backing information, and if there is a policy change that's going to be made, what policy changes are going to be made. I know we have a lot of discussion up here on the dais about the audit and the audit that was done, but I don't feel that we have like a clear mission of what needs to get done to fix the audit findings. So I did speak with the city manager, and he's going to be able to provide that to me next week. We're going to meet on it. So once everything is looked over, we'll share it with the rest of the commission. So I think it'll be easier for us to see what was audited, where the issues were, and what steps we're taking to address those issues. The other thing I wanted to mention, we have the Daytona Beach West Rotary is doing an installation ceremony for a peace pole, and it's going to be dedicated to Shirley Browder, who was recently passed on. A Rotary peace pole is an internationally recognized monument that brings the message, may peace prevail all on earth, and it's in multiple languages. So we're going to be having the ceremony on Saturday. I believe Pam invited everybody, so I hope you could come. And if Mayor, if you're available, they would like you to say a couple of words. So just let me know if that's possible. It's going to be at the Samuel Butts Park on the south side. So that's Saturday, April 18th at 11 a.m. And it's right across the street from Campbell Middle School. And Shirley Browder was very involved in bringing reading programs to Turie T. And she also did a words group with BCU and also Daytona State. So she did really give back. And I want to thank also Public Works for helping install the pole and helping with the placement of the plaque. And I just want to thank Utilities also. Over the weekend, we have one of our rehab centers in Zone 1. They house over 100 residents, and they were having an issue with their water main, and they weren't going to be able to fix it until Monday, but Utilities was able to help out and brought them back water on Saturday. So that's a huge, huge plus, and I just want to thank Utilities for being able to do that. And I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.
I attended a policeman's ball on Friday night, and boy, it didn't have 900 people, but it was an excellent evening with the policemen, and the food was out of this world. The desserts were really good, and entertainment was good. So, next year maybe the rest of us could all come. This one here was there, Monica Paris, and this one here. Anyway, that's all I have that's nice.
I'm sorry, before Commissioner May speaks and everybody leaves, I neglected to say that the community shred event is this Saturday at Mainland High School at 10 a.m., sponsored by our city and the Daytona Beach Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. If you've got items that you have been wanting to shred, we rent the Crown truck and it's on site. You just have to bring like a couple of pair of clean socks or brand new socks and t-shirts as your entry fee so that we can serve our homeless community. But if you've got items to be shred, we have an official shred company on site that will shred your documents, old bills, old accounts, statements, and what have you. And then the Saturday after that, it's time for the Crab and Seafood Festival on the 25th on Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. Thank you.
And also the housing fair that takes place at Allen Chapel before that. So that's one too. Same time? Okay.
Okay, so I had almost forgotten about the Jackie Robinson Ballpark event because so much has happened in the past 2 weeks that it's a bit of a blur. So I've made a few notes. So yes, Jackie Robinson Ballpark, I threw out the opening pitch. I did not embarrass us as a city. So thank you very much, myself and for the people. It was not an embarrassment, thank you. I did attend the Policeman's Gala, well attended, and I really appreciated the chief's remarks. I just wanted to say that over the past 2 weeks especially, I've had activities take place in Zone 3, and the police department has been extremely responsive and kind to many of the residents, and I've actually received emails to that effect in terms of how they've been managing residents, so thank you very much. I went to the President Mosley's Gala. I enjoyed that tremendously. It was a musical evening. I enjoyed the entertainment, but most of all, I had an opportunity to interact with the students, some of which I invited to attend this evening, and they showed up. So please raise your hands. That would be the senior class at Bethune-Cookman for 2026. I spent some time with them in the lobby, and they shared some of their aspirations, and I'm hoping they'll share that with us at the commission as well. Thank you for coming out. Exactly. And then Food Brings Hope had their event last evening at the Dickerson Center. So please expect some footage next week. They're up to about 150 residents, families coming in for fruits and fresh vegetables every Tuesday night. So extremely successful. Thank you for helping to support that. I will most likely be supporting them again. They are growing. And then the same evening, we had Campbell's Night Alive. So the parents and the children at Campbell are doing well. And again, I ran into Bethune-Cookman students doing volunteer work outside, spoke with them. Fantastic group of young people entering our community, and many of them are staying and trying to get jobs here. So hopefully we can help them through the chamber, perhaps. Finally, well, not finally, this weekend, Arts Festival took place last weekend. It was a success. I actually found myself spending some time in front of one of the stages, well attended. We shortened the distance, and it was this time from Orange Ave to ISB. Food trucks and music and people and arts and crafts, and all activated in the downtown core, all completely free. I will say that in our newsletter, there are a list of events taking place in Zone 3. I have a few community meetings happening, especially one dealing with Lenox Park. So residents would like to come out and share their opinions, please come out. And there's a whole list of events in Zone 3 taking place this summer. And a special thanks to, I know Ms. Humphreys was mentioning Public Works and Utilities. Our staff, they've been working really, really hard. I was in a community this week, and I was getting praise for Mr. Bostwick, who's actually with code enforcement. And so the residents know our employees by name, and they appreciate the hard work. So to Public Works and Utilities, the police department, and especially our marketing team, you do a really good job of representing Daytona Beach to our residents. So thank you so much.
Okay, first of all, I want to say the Military Order of the Purple Heart Department of Florida is having their 82nd annual convention here in Daytona Beach, and Patricia will be sending out invites to you all. I think this is their third time having it here, and they will be helping put on, and thank you, Jim, you helped them with the motels last year. Not last year, year before. And they will be helping with the July 4th Veterans Parade that we have down Main Street. Usually it's Commander Rolf Matar. He has stepped down, so we do have a new commander, Jerry Huber, that will be taking in charge. So if there's any veterans out there or anyone that'd like to be in that parade, contact me and I'll put you in contact with Commander Huber. Also, I just want to praise Margaritaville. They are such a giving community. I'm telling you, they had a event over the weekend for Tunnel to Towers, and they raised $60K for them. They have so many events. They're a wonderful community. Tunnel to Towers.
Oh, wow.
They're amazing. I mean, they do so much. They give so much to charities all the time. They're actually getting ready to have another one here soon, which I think it's 10 or 15 501c3s they're going to be giving out
Yes,
money
they
to.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then also, I just wanted to remind everybody, the United States Enlisted Association of the National Guard Conference is going to be held in Daytona Beach for the first time, and the conference begins July 31st of this year. And I'm very excited because we were even picked over Orlando. So, okay, that's it.
Good afternoon. I attended the Jackie Robinson Ballpark opening, and it was amazing. If you get a chance, you need to go out and see the new park and see the beautiful facilities. They've done a wonderful job. Speaking of baseball, this Rattler would like to congratulate Bethune-Cookman baseball team because they beat LSU. Huh? Huh? Did I what?
University of Florida last night.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not know about University of Florida last night, but I know that they beat LSU, who were champions in just a few years back. And I think that that is an amazing thing. And so this Rattler is saying, way to go, Wildcats. I was very impressed, and I love it because I think they're doing a fantastic job with their baseball team. They have been building that team for a few years, and you see the growth. So, our police have done a fantastic job in Zone 5. We have some young people who have turned Zone 5 into Daytona Beach International Speedway. And it's been drag racing, and you tell it's all night. It's up and down the road, and it's just racing. All the new streets on Zone 5 that have been paved now have black marks on it from tires, and that's how bad it was. And so the police chief and I met, and the officers have been very, very good. They came to our community meeting. They talked about their plans to make the community better and safer as far as all of that speeding. And they have done, just within 2 weeks, an amazing, amazing job. We had about 15 officers out on Sunday. And I got the opportunity to go out and talk to all the officers, and they reassured us that they were going to take care of that, and the children were going to be able to play safely in their communities. So I really thank the police chief and the police department. I did not expect a turnaround like that fast, but it has been an amazing turnaround. April 28th is going to be our community meeting at the YSG. So we're doing that once a month, but I think we have a new neighborhood watch captain. Thank you to Mr. Alfred, because he has been, although he said he was not taking the job back, he has worked tirelessly, still helping me get the word out, get the messages out, and try and recruit a person to be our neighborhood watch captain. And we've got a very young lady that's going to be taking over our neighborhood watch. But for this last time right here, we're going to be doing our community dinner on April 28th. I'm going to be feeding you. This last time we had a wonderful dinner. And so this is just the opportunity to get the community back out and to get the community back involved and address their issues and concerns, and have them just be more proactive in what they want to see in Zone 5 and what they want to see in their community. And I want to remind you that the housing fair is going to be, I know Monica mentioned it, but Ms. Desmore had sent me a message, so I want to make sure that I get the message out that the housing fair is going to be on the 25th. And this is what year is this? Since 2015, and I came to the first one because I gave opening remarks, and so I'm so happy to see it still going on. I think that community housing and housing fairs and home ownership is the way to build wealth in all of our communities. So I appreciate Ms. Desmore every year putting this on and making sure people know the options that they have to the path of home ownership. That is going to be my last comment, I think, for the night. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Is Mr. Bellichew still here? He was here. He's left? Okay. I had some questions I wanted to ask him. I attended quite a few of the events that have been mentioned tonight, and I was very pleased with Bethune-Cookman University, very pleased with Embry-Riddle University. A few weeks ago, we attended their 100th, and we are a community that is we benefit greatly, I shall say, from having so many college-aged students in our community. And you bring energy, you express possibility and hope. You give us, those of us who are more seasoned, a sense of perspective about our future. You certainly give us something to work for and towards. And I am just grateful to have all of the universities in our community that we do have. Plumb pleased that you all took up the commissioner's invitation to join us tonight. And I want us, you know, the job of a commissioner, of a mayor in particular, is you're not a salesperson, but you must be a person who sees the larger picture, see the totality of your community. And then you must be committed to communicating that to the residents, to the visitors, and you want to do that in a way that's honest and fair and balanced, that reflects the truth. But at the end of the day, any community is worthy of having a hope for the future, you know, and good leadership, I believe, always leaves you feeling as though, you know, there is a way for us to come up, to climb up, to become a better community. So I think that it is incumbent upon us as we as a team prepare our evaluations for both the manager and shortly after that will be our attorney, that we would express things in a way that leaves us open to the possibility of improvement and gives the type of feedback that is both substantive and that can be acted upon. So we want to have actionable items that allows us to you know, move forward in a way that says these are the things that we want to be better at. But when you're a mayor, you look at all of the things and all of the things that I've heard tonight, and even going all the way back to what you're saying about 11 years of community involvement, working on affordable housing, seeing tonight that you had 18 homes that this city has participated in, and that's just a microcosm of the number of affordable units that we have really addressed, because there have been many, many others through other agencies that we have supported. And so there are a lot of great things that are going on in the community, and Commissioner Cantu reflected upon, because what happened in Mosaic wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing, and it was quite frankly a bad thing and a costly thing. But the reality is tonight that while we didn't get that right, what you have to do when you don't get things right is you have to look at how you move on to the next project, the next idea, the next situation, and get better. And so at the end of the day, I look forward to us continuing to improve and look for ways for us to get better. Now, I would like to say this, and this is on me. During our last meeting, I did not particularly like a lot of the way that the meeting ran. So much so that I thought that the auditor's presentation, I don't want to say it was bad because it wasn't bad because of him, but I didn't learn anything new from the presentation that I didn't, and I was following it and trying to read it, but it didn't benefit me as much as I would like it to. So in the future, when we have presentations like that, I'm going to demand that the person who's presenting, we're going to allow them to do the presentation, and then we're going to ask our questions at the end. We're not going to inject or interject, with questions in the middle of the presentation, because it took us off kilter, and it left, me somewhat frustrated as the chair, and I think even the auditor was frustrated. I was so frustrated I didn't want to have those presentations anymore in public but I don't think that's the right solution. I think the better solution is that we allow the person, whoever it is, and the first one will be the city manager at the next meeting, to present all the way through. Then if we as a commission have questions, we will raise questions at that time. With that said, I'm grateful for a lot of what's going on, grateful for the opportunity to improve as a community and try and get it right, and looking forward to hearing from the residents who remain with us. Mr. Manager, do you have anything?
No comments for tonight.
No, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, we will hear from the residents of Daytona Beach. Oh. Oh, cool. Oh, we waiting on some more.
Our first speaker tonight is Jack Risden? And on deck is John Nicholson.
Jack Risden, 2124 South Peninsula. I'm gonna start easy. Can we get the parking lot, lower parking lot, a one-way? Because you have people that can't back up, can't do this, can't do that. If the flow would go around, it'd be a lot better. Just a question. And then, do government employees lose their pension if they are convicted of a felony? That's number two. Number three, as a retired Verizon contract work inspector, I don't see any inspectors watching people do work around this city. And I think we need some inspectors. And the third thing is, 53% of the people in the United States say that government is wasting money on different things. And also, you get the Treasury's report. I was a commissioner in New England. I'm a newbie. You've seen me before, though.
Mm-hmm.
When we had a meeting, the commissioners, we had the Treasurer's report, and we would spend time looking at what was spent in the last between the two sessions. And if you all did that, I don't think you would be as this much trouble as you've gotten yourself into. And you've treated the auditor terrible, in my opinion. You have abused him. You just, I'd have quit if you all treated me like you've treated him. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir. Oh, you know, Jack.
Our next speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is it Joha Fletcher? I'm sorry.
Couple of things. John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. This morning at the Economic Board, Jack White presented a paper to them with regard to the CRAs and how he thought we should do the last 10 years. We only have 10 years to use those TIF funds. Once they're gone, they're gone. So we have all these projects. He's got a system. I'm asking you, you might want to have him visit you and give you those plans and what his concepts are for downtown, midtown, and beachside, how to get those projects going, small projects and large projects. It's something I think you all, Jack's been in the community forever. He built the property on Magnolia. He's been in the business for a long time, and I think he has something to say. Secondly, where are we with the ACLU lawsuit with redistricting? The elections are coming up. Where are we at that? Because it determines who's going to vote where, who's going to run where. And we definitely don't want to end up having an election after an election. That's costly and it's confusing. So we need to get that solved. First Step Shelter lost their director. Victoria has resigned, so they'll be looking for a new director. It's time that you guys got involved with the First Step Shelter to make sure that we do a national search and get somebody who is qualified to lead it into the next generation. Third, on the evaluation, I think it was 23 was the last evaluation for the city manager and the attorney. It's supposed to be done on a regular basis. And the question is, whose fault is it if you all don't have those evaluations? It's not the city manager's fault. It's not the attorney's fault. It's we as a community not demanding it, and you as a board not demanding it. So it has to be done so that they know how they're doing. You can't just kick them out without any forewarning. So he needs to have the ability to do that. And then lastly, I believe there was a meeting scheduled for the Peninsula Club. Did you cancel that? Because you didn't mention it. And nobody knows about it, so.
So I believe that for that general area in Zone 3, there's a flyer in the paper right here. They've done social media about it, and I believe they're doing some door-to-door as well to let people know.
Okay, because I know two people from the area. When I mentioned it to them, they had no idea. Okay.
Keep mentioning it, John. That's really helpful. Keep telling people. Thank you.
Our next speaker is John Fletcher, and on deck is Brenda Fowler.
I live north of George Ingram, right behind Bethune-Cookman. They're over-policing the neighborhood. Example, it was a four-way stop at Madison and Washington Street. They took the light out and made it a four-way stop. The police sit there at night in the dark and hide and wait, because if it's in the neighborhood, if it's a four-way stop and there's no cars coming, you might stop slightly and go on through. They're having a field day with giving out tickets over there, and they're handing them out like gift certificates in one of the poorest areas of town. And then I wanted to talk to the chief about that, because if they're policing up, and then they have a sign up saying, this is a crime area, high crime area. If you got a high crime area, why would you sit in the bushes in the dark and do a sting operation at a four-way stop? You should be patrolling the neighborhood and looking for criminals and crime. And the other thing, this young lady over here, I'm glad she came and exposed all this, because you said we have a lot of issues. We do. And this question probably is directed at you three right there, not the commissioners. Since she exposed all of this, what has happened? Has anybody lost their job? Anybody got punished? What has happened? question for you. Mayor, everybody works for you, so if you can't answer, I think the city manager is next in line, but what happened? Has anything happened? Or are you still looking into it? What has happened?
Well, if you understand the form of government we have, everybody doesn't work for me. This is a council.
Well, they answer
manager.
to you.
No. They don't answer to me. They don't work for me. We have a council manager form of government. So my vote is the same as the rest of the folks up here vote. Equal vote. I'm the chairman of the board, essentially. The manager, they report to the manager. So he manages the city and the day-to-day operations of the city. I'm not here managing the city on the day-to-day operations.
So he is, right?
Precisely. Now, but you asked if someone was terminated.
Punished or anything?
You asked if someone, let me ask, and you've heard a lot of things. What do you know that someone should have been punished for? Now, and not to say that because someone has lost their job.
I'm from here and I'm over 60, so I can say that in the last few weeks here, I've heard more negative things about this town than any other time in my life.
Okay.
So something is terribly wrong. I'm not pointing a finger at anyone, but what have you done to fix it? And has anyone had to account for any of this stuff going on?
I'm going to let you finish your own time in just a moment, but I'll be happy to talk to you when the meeting is over, because you said the operative word. You said, I'm hearing, but you haven't expressed any evidence, any facts of any reason that someone should have been terminated. That doesn't mean that someone should not have, but I too have not had a whole, and someone has actually lost their job with things surrounding mismanagement or inappropriate.
Right, I heard that one
behavior.
person had quit,
but no, someone has lost their job. But I will be happy to talk to you to express my perspective of how things are going.
I understand. I really wanted to talk to the chief about this over police in my neighborhood because, like I say, they handing them tickets out like they gift certificates. Mm-hmm. And everybody that gets stopped, if they stop you at a four-way stop and they see you're 2 blocks from your house, maybe you did roll through it, they don't have to warrant you with a ticket every single time, especially in the poorest areas of town. Mm-hmm. They can give you a warning or something, but not. Mm-hmm. And those tickets are like, I don't know, almost $200. And if they're trying to deter crime, doing a sting operation at a four-way stop is not the right way to do it. I can give him some pointers on that if he needs them, but that's not the right way.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Brenda Fauser, and on deck is Nora Hall.
Hey.
So, I'm going to keep it real, right? I always do. Commissioner Cantu, I personally want to thank you for answering my call and helping me through the process of the sidewalks. It is true, one person was not angry. They expressed a question that I sent to them, and that would have been my husband. I was out of town, because in the MOA, they mentioned there was going to be a meeting for the sidewalks, and it turned out to be a breakout section. It was a little confusing to the residents. Nobody minded, but he only asked the question because I asked him to ask the question. So thank you for pointing that out. You're welcome. Anyway, I just wanted to reiterate what you were saying about last week's meeting. I witnessed in the last commission meeting, as a resident, it was disturbing. The behavior displayed did not reflect professionalism or leadership, and it undermined public trust. Mr. Belichiw should be able to present his report without interruption or having his credibility questioned. He has remained professional and respectful throughout, and that should be reciprocated. Perhaps sanctions need to be levied. Mr. Fiacher, the issue with the subdivision sidewalks reflects on the failure of oversight, permitting, follow-up, and accountability. When departments become lax and standards are not enforced, the responsibility ultimately falls on leadership. And I mentioned that to him last year, that I felt that the department heads had failed him. The residents asked to speak at the beginning of the meetings for reasons such as we cannot stay here until midnight or later, and many of us work or other responsibilities the next day. So whether we speak at the beginning because we have to work or you want us to stay until 1:30, I think it's a deterrent to many residents when you ask them to stay so late and speak. Disagreements do not equally are not equal to inaccuracies. Commissioner Reed, you publicly questioned the auditor's credibility without evidence and undermines his integrity in the process. They should be supported with facts, not assumptions, and it should be done in private. Commissioner Henry, when someone's professional reputation is challenged publicly, they will respond back to you. And he did. And that's not a breach of decorum. That's just somebody having a disagreement. To me? You disagree? More broadly, the commission initially did not treat the audit as a priority initially, and they asked to vote for it to be put off to another time. There appears to be a lack of familiarity with established policies, including P-card use. That should not be the case. The decorum must be applied consistently.
Our next speaker is Nora Hall, and on deck is Thomas Kiles.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to address the City Commission. I live in the LPGA community, and as you all know, things have really changed out there. I've lived there since 2013. And we have a problem with people not abiding by the speed limit on Champions Drive. There's no visible law enforcement, hardly ever. I think once or twice I've seen some motorcycle officers, like mid-morning when there's nothing going on out there, or early afternoon, because that's kind of when the old people are out getting around. But early in the morning when people are racing out of the neighborhood to get to work, it's like a speedway. And in the late in the afternoon, early evening, just a few nights ago, I was walking down the sidewalk at about 7 o'clock, and this car was speeding towards me and jumped the curb and was headed right for me. I thought I was going to die. I had to run up on the berm. He did correct and managed to get back on the roadway, but he took off just as fast as he must have been going 75 miles an hour easily. I mean, there's nothing to slow anybody down. There's no stop signs, there's no red lights, there's no speed bumps, there's nothing. It's just a straightaway. And with the new neighborhoods out there, with people that are more working age, people that are probably family age, younger people, they're like bat out of hell trying to get out of there in the morning and get back in the afternoon. And my neighbors are really, really like everybody on my street is in their 70s or 80s. It's just, there's a lot of old people out there. The street I live on, when you pull out, you go around, there's a blind curve on Champions, and people fly around that curve so fast. You look left, you look right, you look left again, and before you can get out, they have come around. You don't even have time to pull out. So we want to know what we can do to get law enforcement, to get those speed limits enforced, because it's really ruining our neighborhood. And we live there, and it's changed, I guess, for the better for the city, because y'all are collecting a lot more ad valorem taxes, but it's really not helping us at all. And it's really, we're getting to the point now that we don't feel like we're safe. I don't feel like I'm safe walking on the sidewalk. So I would like to ask y'all respectfully to please send some law enforcement out there and tell us what we can do. Can we get speed bumps? Can we get some stop signs? Can we get something to slow people down?
Where are you again?
LPGA.
Okay, LPGA.
Yeah. She's probably go ahead, finish your time.
Well, it's on it's Champions. It's out of control at this point. So, thank you.
Mayor, can I address? No, that's not the chief. And actually, I've had many emails from her. I do have some other people that live out here in LPGA, and they do patrol out there, and I will send it over again. And actually, I think when the chief went out there, actually, there wasn't a lot of speeding. I mean, we even have the captain, I think it lives out there. You live out there. But I will address that again and send it over to the chief and Director Rhodes and see what we can do about it. They were out there, believe me.
9 o'clock, right? 7 a.m. to 9?
I don't know, it's whenever people are coming home from work and racing.
Oh, I meant 7 in the morning to 9. I don't know in the evening. But I go that way sometimes to avoid certain traffic. And
But I can tell you, it's all over the community. I mean, our police are this thin. I mean, I have Champion out there. I have Pelican Bay. I mean, it's like nonstop for these police officers. And our budget time, I hope we're not going to lower the budget because they need more men.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Thomas Kiles, and on deck is Ted Herdecki.
Thank you. Today I have with me also the rest of the senior class board, Shakira Brown, Tyler Brooks, Kennedy Cooper, Keller David, and also Candace Johnson as well. I am here on behalf of the senior class. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, city leaders, community partners, and fellow Wildcats as well. My name is Thomas Collins II. I proudly serve as the senior class president for Bethune-Cookman University class of 2026. Tonight I stand before you to present a project that represents legacy, pride, innovation, and partnership. Our vision is to design and install a custom brick monument sign featuring a digital LED display at Bethune-Cookman University. This monument serves as a permanent campus landmark while functioning as a real-time communication tool capable of sharing university announcements, community events, emergency messages, and as well as temperature and time. But what makes this project so special is its history. This vision traces back to class of 1972, where originally concept planted the seed of a monument that would stand as a symbol of Wildcat pride. Today, over 50 years later, the class of 2026 has the honor of restoring and modernizing and bringing that vision to a new era. This is more than a sign. It bridges between generations, a connection between those who came before us and those who will follow. A visible reminder of that this legacy does not end, it evolves. The total projected investment for this initiative is between $35,000 and $45,000. Tonight, we are inviting the City of Daytona Beach to consider becoming a funding legacy partner in this transitional project. We have created sponsorship opportunities that allow partners to contribute various levels while permanently recognizing that as a part of this legacy, a funding legacy, contributing to $10,000 and or more would position the city as a leading partner in bringing this vision to life. Your support would help us create not only a university landmark, but also a gateway feature that benefits the entire city. Bethune-Cookman University is one of the most historic and visible institutions in Daytona Beach. Each year, thousands of students, family, alumni, and visitors pass through our campus, move forward in graduation. Graduation, athletics, and performing arts, homecoming, and major citywide events. This monument will serve as a beautification enhancement to the city's educational corner and also a digital communication point for the community announcements and emergency updates. A stronger first impression for visitors and prospective students, a symbol of communicated partnership between the city and Bethune-Cookman University. Supporting this would not only just be a simple sign, but it would be simply funding a sign. You are investing in a landmark that reflects civic pride, strengthens visibility, enhances communication, and leaves a lasting legacy of a partner for generations to come. Thank you, and hail Wildcats.
So you are requesting what of the city commission?
I'm just requesting that if you guys could help us make this sign. It will cost $35,000 up to $35,000 up to $45,000.
So it's a sign, it's a digital clock, it provides announcements, and it's probably displayed. And where will it be, do you think?
So it already sits in the middle of the university, right on our quad, next to White Hall. So it's a sign. Right now, it might say Day of Students. with our president, letting the students know that Monday was a day of service for the students to go out and give community service for the community. But we want to make it digitized by, updating it as the one that sits on International right in front of the Performing Arts Center.
Okay, so you're trying to sort of match it, upgrade a little bit, just modernize 21st century kind of thing. All right. So I'm hoping that Commissioner Reed, I never do that. I never do that, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try what's tried with me. I am going to invite the other commissioners, Commissioner Strickland, Commissioner Reed, Henry, Monica Paris, Ken too has already donated all of her funds. I would very much like to see if you would match me. I'm going to donate to them $1,000, and I invited them hoping that we could match or that we could help a little bit. The senior class, I've never participated in that, and so I think it's a bit of a privilege for me to understand what you're doing. And I'll be honest with you, after meeting you and speaking with you for quite some time, I would like to try to help some of you connect with local businesses, because I would like for you to stay. I think you're fantastic young people, and I would like to see you live in Daytona Beach for years to come. So yes, I would like to donate $1,000. Hopefully you can encourage the other commissioners to support you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Good
Commissioner
job.
Reed donates 5,000.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You threw it down like that. Gosh.
I'm going to go in with 2,500.
And we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Hell, Wildcats.
Thank you all, and have a great night.
Are we done?
Strickland, come on, let's go. Let's go.
I'll do 2,500.
2,500. There you go. 2,500.
We appreciate that.
Y'all don't run off. I have a text from somebody to get a picture of you guys. Okay, so once you
Me
sit back
too,
down,
I
I'll
had
get a
one. That's
picture.
why I was taking pictures.
Okay.
Someone texted me and asked me. Someone, y'all come on.
Can we
up
have them
front.
stand up?
Come on.
Beautiful.
But we appreciate that,
Beautiful.
and that makes tonight $11,000 that we
Mr.
just
Mayor,
raised.
you want to make a contribution?
Thank you so much.
Say again?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not able to at this time.
Okay, good. He's not able to. It's
Commissioner
okay.
Mason, since you want to challenge somebody, you need to match me because we're both Midtown, baby. And I'm one
You
side
know
of the
what?
street and
I
you're
want
the
you to
other.
remember this. This was me strategizing with you in a lobby. You started off with me. You ended up with 10,000 more. I've done my part.
So are you saying you're not
Can we
going
get
up
a
to
picture
five?
with him?
Are
Can we
not
get a
going to
picture with you?
five? Is that
You know
you're
what?
saying?
Commissioner Reed.
Yes.
You got it? You got it to give?
You got it to give.
Okay, but this is what I would like. I would like something in return. I'd like there to be exchange. I would very much like to, I would like for you to compile for me a list of the graduating class. I would like for you to put all of their resumes on one document for me or one drive for me and allow me to distribute the resumes. So I'd like professional resumes from you, and then I will contact some people and I will give them the disc with all of the resumes. To me, that's worth gold. Okay. In addition to that, Commissioner Reed is still looking at dollars. I will match Commissioner Reed.
There you go. So 5, 5, 2.5. And Ken was
That's
you 2.5 or you?
$15,000.
You 25?
We appreciate that greatly. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let us.
Yes,
let's
please.
Do one without and
Please.
one with.
Please.
Do one without.
Come on, Miss
one with,
Rattler.
one
Come
without.
on, Miss Henry.
That's $15,000 the night Wildcat. Definitely.
Wildcats.
Wildcat.
Oh, can you take mine as well? Just send it to me. Just send it to me.
Where's Xavier?
Ready? 1, 2.
Is his finger in the way?
And then because we're walking, can we hold up our paw? Just really quickly. It's a good paw picture. Just yes. And you hold up your paw too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, one more.
From Daytona. We were raised on the yard.
I support the home team.
You just went to the hill, that's all.
That's it. Put your paw up. Where your paw?
1, 2, 3.
Cheese.
Thank you so much.
Y'all real.
Thank you all so much. God bless you.
God bless you all. 1990, that's 2010.
Our next speaker tonight is Ted Hordecki, and on deck is Teresa Werner.
Hi, my name is Ted Hordecki, 113 Braddock Avenue, and I'd like to thank the commission tonight for a lot of their comments. The gentleman that came up and says he's been getting a lot of negative information, bombarded with negative stuff about Daytona constantly, and I know what he's seeing. I don't know about the stop sign, I don't drive that way, but I know about the negative. I'm here to say I feel positive because we have 7 people with 7 different votes.
That's right.
It's not like one person's gonna make the decision, it's gonna be made. Let's get all the facts before we start putting heads on spikes. I mean, it just seems to me, and we have 2 election cycles coming up. And if people really want to make change, what you got to do is you got to go outside your local municipality. You got to worry about who's going on the county council. You got to worry about who Ormond Beach is getting. And we got to start organizing to get people of the same kind of mind for what we want in our community, but we can't just stay in Daytona. And we got to go all the way to Tallahassee because I think we need some changes up there. I feel we don't get any representation. I'm not an elected official, so I'm not going to hear it, but you know what? They got a lot of opinions up there. Well, I got opinions down here. And I think the next 2 elections, people really got to read what's going on in the newspaper. We're not the only town. Jacksonville, Flagler, Miami Beach, they're all getting hounded, the CFO this, CFO that. I believe in 180, toilet to tap, live local, and all the stuff they're trying to push through before the midterms, because they know they're gonna get pummeled. If you've seen the results for all the different elections and, you know, New Smyrna Beach, people are voting and they're coming out in numbers, and I think they know they're in trouble. So they're coming up with all these little things to throw, you know, oh, that's wasteful spending. Hey, Daytona stepped in it. We made some mistakes. I don't argue with that. I don't think they're a hanging offense. You know, if you find somebody that's criminal, yeah, they're gonna get fired and they're gonna get prosecuted the way it should be. But I don't think we should overreact until all the information gets in. But I'm telling people, you don't like what you hear, don't like what you see, tell your neighbors and vote. I'm getting all my neighbors together and I'm, okay, we gotta vote for this, this, and this is what we want. Because to have a commission that, you know, is constantly fighting or not together, the county commission bothers me because they can't agree on what time it is. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Teresa Werner, and on deck is Gwen Asma Edwards.
Try to talk quick because I got a lot. I don't know if you realize when they changed the coding. When this building went down in Miami, they changed it. So now if I call code enforcement, they say it's turned over to Tallahassee. They can't come and check it on apartments. Apartment buildings more than 4 is what I understand. So I called Tallahassee. Tallahassee, I'm on Woodland Avenue and Beachside. They can't even find me on the map. So nobody helped me. This man right here, I did call him. He's trying to help me with something. You also have a man called Stetson in the code enforcement. He ought to be paid double. He's the best man you ever had. But they also have a rule we're used to inspect the properties every 2 years. You stop that. But what I understand is you can have that if you want it, because Tallahassee ain't gonna inspect nothing. So people in apartments, they're not getting their stuff inspected. My neighbor is from Brooklyn. She has 6 apartments. She's a slumlord. She fixes nothing. The tenants are upset. I'm upset because I live next door. So please look into that. Now let's go to some other things I got here.
Where does she live?
I live on the little street. You're saying, where do I live? 212 Woodland Avenue, over on Beachside. You know, you're saying here you made mistakes and you fixed them. Well, I live in supposed to be a nice neighborhood. 9 o'clock in the morning, I had kids in the house behind me shooting a gun at 9 o'clock in the morning. And when I called police and got police, the kid said, we're watching TV. They took a 14-year-old kid's word over me. They didn't go to the other houses in my neighborhood that heard the gun. They went to them. So when I called my other neighbor when she come home, and that was in the backyard. Well, I'll call the other neighbor when she come home. She talks to the neighbors. Here the mother says there's bullet holes in the bedroom. So I went down to the chief of police. I said, we need some help here. They didn't help. So what did I do? I came here. I came to your office, sir. I came here begging for help. And the lady at the front desk said, you're too busy. I said, gave my name and address. I told what was going on. I got no help. I got no call back. We had the other drug dealer. Okay, first we got a drug dealer down the road. People were going out in the ambulance they bring ambulance and firemen when there's a drug overdose. They were going out almost every single week. And we were scared to death because we had a mental man on our street who we all loved, who if he'd go down to this house, he'd take any drug they'd give him. So we're all running down the street to make sure it's not Danny. You know, one lady in the neighborhood, she went around with a petition, got all our names on the petition. We begged for help. We begged for help to shut this drug house down. We couldn't get that drug house down. Then we had the drug dealers across the street. They got 2 pit bulls. The pit bulls would go wild in the neighborhood. Everybody have to call. We'd have to call and say, the pit bulls are out. Get in the house, get your kids in the house, get your dogs in the house. It wasn't until they killed 5 cats. When they finally killed 5 cats, something was done. And we even had the cops come. We had the pit bulls locked in a fenced-in yard. The cop crawled under the house and got the dead cat out. We also had it on the ring camera. So it wasn't, they killed our cat. You know, we're all crazy, we have no evidence. We had evidence.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, your time has expired.
Did code come out?
No.
They haven't been out there.
They haven't been out. And if you want to spend some money, you can spend it on the community center on Beachside because you don't have nothing over there.
Our next speaker is Gwen Asma Edwards, and on deck is Allison Root. Former Madam Clerk.
Gwen Asma Edwards, 104 Water Turkey Court, yes. Woo. They said this was a great meeting. You know, I've had meetings where we were here till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeez, this is a short meeting. I stand here for 2 reasons, really. One, to say thank you for your service, because having worked for the city, having been a city commissioner as well as a city clerk, I know your jobs are not easy. And I know you don't hear thank you enough, so thank you. I really do and truly appreciate what you do. And that goes for everyone sitting here and everyone who works for the city manager. So please let him know that I said that. I appreciate all that he does. I've seen a lot of improvements in this city as a former employee and as a person who lives here. A lot of improvements, and that's due to the job that all of you do. So again, I thank you. My second reason for standing here and waiting till the end of the meeting is to invite each of you to our 4th annual Law Enforcement Appreciation Service. We will have that on Thursday, May 14th at 5 p.m. So we invite you to come. We have law enforcement individuals, police chiefs from throughout the county. We have also some from the other county. We also have our judiciary that will be there, and other persons who are with parole and probation, etc. Total law enforcement. So we want them to know how much we appreciate them, the job that they do. You know, people complain about a lot of things, but overall, we appreciate them as much as we appreciate all of you. So please join us on May 14th at 5 o'clock, and there will be food.
Gwen, say where it is.
Living Faith World Ministries, thank you, 950 Derbyshire Road in Daytona Beach, Florida. So please join us. Pastor Bahu is the pastor at the church, and you know he's also, I believe, chair of your planning board. So please join us. And again, thank you for all you do. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Our next speaker is Allison Root, and on deck is William Biddorf.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. I am Allison Root. I am the Executive Officer at the Volusia Building Industry Association. Had no intention of speaking tonight, but Commissioner Henry has inspired me, as well as the Mayor. I just want to say thank you for making mention, especially you, Commissioner Henry. You mentioned that affordable housing and housing in general is the best way to create generational wealth. And with that, I could not agree more. So I wanted to personally invite you and the community to come out into our parade of homes that's going on now through the 19th. In that, we have housing that is more affordable. We actually have Habitat for Humanity of Greater Volusia is a entry in our parade this year to try and draw some attention to what can happen. And as you guys, I'm sure know, they're currently building a community Legacy Woods here in Daytona. And we're going to be a sponsor for one of those homes. So we would love to have you guys come out. I just want to draw attention to that. And I want to personally invite the mayor and the commissioners to come to our gala on April 24th as my personal honored guest. I think all of you have my email address. If you look, you'll find emails from me. If not, call our office. I'll get it for you. Just let me know what you want to eat, and I will pay for your dinner for all of you as an honored guest from Daytona Beach. So the gala is at the Shores Spa and Resort on April 24th at 5 o'clock, 5 to 10. And the parade runs, we have homes here in Daytona Beach, Port Orange, New Smyrna, Ormond, DeLand. They're scattered throughout the county. So I just wanted to invite each of you in the community to come out, tour some of what Volusia has to offer for housing here in Daytona and the rest of the county. Thank you.
Question: how do we find out about these homes and where they are? Because I'm thinking parade of homes is usually at the Ocean Center. And
VolusiaParade.com. If you go to VolusiaParade.com, all our entries are, it's a free tour. You come and go as you please. The entries are open from 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday they're open from 12 to 5. So that they're open from now till Sunday. So VolusiaParade.com, you can download our digital guidebook from there. You can download our app from there, get the directions, and see all 27 entries that we have. And the price ranges, with the exclusion of Habitat, because it's priced a little different, obviously. But price ranges are around $300,000, and then it goes way up from there, like $4.5 million. So I mean, anything you're looking for. That is my only opportunity every year to walk into a $4.5 million house.
Yeah, right. It might be mine,
Just, you
too.
know. Right? So thank you, guys.
Our next speaker is William Biddorf, and on deck is Krista Goodrich.
Oh, goodness. Hello, my name is William Biddorf. I reside here in Daytona, the wonderful Daytona Beach, 402 East International Speedway Boulevard. Short, I hate to even talk about anything negative, period. I hate anything negative. On July 9, 2025, my charity was raided. I was hit with some code violations on some fencing that actually ended up belonging to my neighbor next door, Mr. Casadakis. In that raid, I had, after that raid on the 12th, I proved that the fact that it didn't belong to me. It belonged to my neighbor. And there had been some fence that had been taken down without permits and things of that nature, but I was going to be charged with it and fined per day. Well, it was supposed to be written up then, and as of today, not until April 2026 of this year, I actually did a complaint and I took some pictures to make sure it would be taken care of. So I was assured it was supposed to be taken care of by Carl Wexelberg, the one that wrote me up. Carl Wexelberg did not put it forward July 2025. On July 12th, 2025, he was supposed to actually give them all in their fraction. But my curious thing is on selective enforcement, we just need to stop it, okay? Now, let's go into something positive. I hate to go on the negative stuff because I love the city altogether. I am upset about it, and I will take care of it in a legal matter. But with my city commissioners, I'm not upset. And with all of you, I'm very pleased. But I wanted to go into something. There was some years ago, Derek Fiecher saved my church. I put a church there on 326 South Grandview because of Derek, because the ex-city manager, Jim Chisholm, he had put a dividing line down the middle of my property there, and I couldn't occupy it. I couldn't lease it to anybody. So as soon as Derek Fiecher got into office as city manager, I got a chance to get in front of him. I explained it to him, and we went through the process with my great city commissioners, and we straightened out that problem. The problem is that I see that a lot of people are blaming my commissioners for stuff that happened 34 years ago. I think I did a little research, and I'm not an expert in everything that's going on, but the last audit y'all had, I think, was like 34 years ago or 30-some years ago. How can you, as my city commissioners and my mayor, and you, everybody up here, be blamed for what happened 34 years ago? So you all are coming in trying to fix problems from the past and being blamed for stuff you really had nothing to do with. So my suggestion is let's just move forward and try to do something positive, and let's stop the nagging, because as developers come in, as I bring developers in, which just has nothing to do with the organization, I recently became president of the local FRA chapter for Volusia, and developers don't like this stuff. I don't like that people are talking negative about my mayor. I don't like people talking negative about anybody up here. This is ridiculous. So let's just try to be nicer to each other.
But at the end of the day, accountability belongs to the person who has the pen. So people, that's just the way the life rolls. So but we'll deal with it. But thank you for your comments. Mm-hmm.
Our next speaker is Krista Goodrich, and on deck is Johnny McGill.
Hello, Krista Goodrich, 2800 South Peninsula Drive. I'm sure it comes as no surprise that I'm here to talk about vacation rentals. I believe you guys were all given some information that I had put together, and I've talked to several of you. Years ago, you went and looked at doing an overlay district between Seabreeze and ISB and allowing vacation rentals in that area. And there was an attorney general opinion that said you can't do an overlay because if you change zoning on an SFR 5, for example, you have to change it on all SFR 5s, which would impact all of the beachside and many other areas. But what I've identified is that between Seabreeze and ISB, there are 5 different zoning classifications that primarily exist only in that area, except for, I believe, residential professional, which does also exist on the land side, but is going to be a low impact because they're mostly businesses. So if we went back to the Attorney General and asked for another opinion about if we could change the zoning on these specific zoning classifications, there's been prior opinions that say you can do that and you can allow vacation rentals. So we have all talked about improving the beachside. We know that there's not going to be huge investment dollars in single-family homes from long-term investors or from people choosing that as their primary residence. Right now, there's an 18% primary residence in that area. So I don't know of another way, of course, as you guys know, this is the 10th year I've been doing this up here. But what I'm gonna ask you guys to do is I've met with planning, I've met with the city manager, and again, I've spoken with several of you, is to request another Attorney General opinion to validate what I'm saying, that if we look at these specific zones, we will have the ability to change that without losing grandfather status, without doing anything to impact people north of Seabreeze, people south of Silver Beach, south of actually ISB. So I think most of you have been in agreement with me when I've spoken with you about it, but I don't know what's stopping the action from happening. So I came tonight to request that you guys asked for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe, Mr. Gross, you're looking into that?
Yeah, and my apologies, commissioners. As you probably know, I had an unexpected family emergency last week when I was putting on the finishing touches of what was going to be the memo to you all that's required for you to then send a request off to the AG. We'll have something for you at the next meeting.
Yeah, I've been asking about that so coming. Okay.
Okay. Our final speaker tonight is Johnny McGill.
Good evening, everybody. Johnny McGill, 122 Southwind Drive in Ormond Beach, but I do have some Daytona Beach business to discuss with you guys this evening. I come in support of the CVB. I am a HOB board member, and I was very proud to be here for that, but I felt motivated to stay for the rest of the meeting and just kind of enjoy the way you guys conduct business. And I wanted to flip my hat around for a second and talk to you about another board that I serve on, which is the Jeep Beach Board of Directors. And we are just in the midst of our event. It's actually happening. We broke ground this morning and dumped a bunch of dirt into the speedway on the ball field to start creating the obstacle course. And I encourage each and every one of you, if you've not made it out to the event, we would love to see you. If you can make it to the Speedway Friday and Saturday during the main event next week, that would be fantastic. But there's two events that are also happening that are not at the Speedway that are free for the entire community that we would love to see you at if you can make it. One would be our Sunset in the Sand 5K, which is going to be a 5K community-based event where people can come out and run, and it's great fun, great fellowship, and that happens behind the Hard Rock Hotel in Daytona Beach. And then on Tuesday night, a week from yesterday, we will have our Salute to Heroes evening, which has moved over to the One Daytona complex, which is going to be a great evening. Again, family fun for all ages. We have a kid zone. We have other events going on. We have Jeeps parked throughout the property. And for the first time ever, we're actually going to have fireworks at One Daytona. So just wanted to thank you for your continued support of Jeep Beach. We could not do that without you. As you know, the economic impact to the area is large. It's a $500 million annual economic impact, but without the community getting behind us, without your leadership, and without our community letting our visitors know that this is where they want to come, spend their money, and enjoy themselves, it would all be for nothing. But thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
And you guys come to the Seafood Festival too. You usually do. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, come on down.
All right. Good night, Daytona Beach.